Okay, so I moved into a new neighborhood that's some years back, and I packed in, I had arranged my things in the room, and everything was fine. One day I went to the market and then I was coming back, and God spoke to me. Are you really going to abandon me because of this white man? That small, still voice, and I didn't get it, and it came again. Would you deny me just because of this man? And I was just, deny you, God. How can I deny you now? I can't deny you of being your daughter or a servant. It's not possible. Like, I didn't just. Which man? At that moment, I didn't have any money in my life. I wasn't even considering anybody. So, for the Spirit of God to speak to me about denying him because of a man, it didn't make any sense to me. Like, so I walked to the house and I went about my duties, praying, evangelizing, doing dome broadcasting, and the normal things that I do as a Christian. 4 months later, I was going out of my house and I met this white man, and he greeted me. He was like, he's new here, and he stays around. He came for some work, and then he's just like going around the community. So I was like, okay, well, that's nice. I also came just a few months ago, and things like that. And yeah. So we just hi, anyway, my meets you, hi, hello, and greetings, and then you go, that kind of a thing. So I was there one day, and he came to the house, and he said, "Oh, since I know how to communicate in English and all that, it's very nice. We just become friends." So I said, "Okay, well, that's fine." And at that moment, that mindset of getting married to a white man hadn't clicked in, okay? So we became friends for like a month, and he was nice, he was good, he was. So that thing now started clicking in that, hey, Oli, this white guy is good, he's cute, he's nice. So why don't we consider making him. So I started being very like additionally more nice to him because I really wanted to marry a white man. I have cool kids. So my niceness was doubled, and all that. And we started talking, and he would take me out for lunch. When I'm awake, he was like, oh, he was going for a lunch. Would I want to join him? I was like, yeah, yeah. Then he comes to pick me and then takes me out for lunch, and he he was okay. Then I would say he was okay, but this person wasn't a Christian who really served God like the way I was serving God. In fact, he saw some of the things I was doing not necessary as a Christian. He just felt that, why would you have to be doing broadcasting, be doing all these things? You don't really need it. And I was like, no, that is what I live by. I'm a Christian, and these are the things that make me a Christian. So we started talking about Christianity, and I realized that this guy was so off. And still, I did not mind. I was like, I could get close to him and change certain things about him. But I was about to sleep. So that was after 6 months. So being like after 2 months of good friendship with him. So I was about to sleep one night, and then I now the voice. I don't know whether the voice that came back, or I remember that God said, "Only, would you deny me just because of this white man?" Guys, it started to click. It started making sense. I woke up from my bed. I was like, God, you spoke to me 4 months at before time. Like, when we say the God is, I don't even want to go there. Like, time is nothing to him. Maybe to him it was just 2 days or a day for me to meet this white man, and he spoke to me. But to me, it took me 4 to 5 months for me to meet him. 2 months of friendship. So in all together 6 months before it started to click to me that this is the man, this is the person God was speaking to you about, that would you deny him for. I woke up on my bed. I was like, oh God, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. And it wasn't as if I wasn't praying or read. I was still doing what I was doing, but I never saw that guy to be somebody I could deny Christ. What? I was like, God, I'm sorry. Forgive me. Forgive me. For if I was even considering this guy as a marital person. I was starting to see him, started thinking about my family with him, children, our half with their curly hair and what. I was like, yeah, God, I'm so sorry. I prayed and kind of like even cried, like, God, forgive me, and forgive me for doing such things, and it now started talking to me. After that, I started hearing clearly the voice of the Lord, because God used to talk to me, don't go and meet. And I was like, it's just a day, it's just an outing, God, come on, why don't you want me, the kind of thing. I was kind of like just not hearing the voice of God in telling me not to go out, not to meet him, not to invite him into my room, and all those things. And I now had a revelation that if I actually were to marry this man, I wouldn't be alive after 10 years of getting married to him. That was the whole revelation that came after I started seeking God, and praying earnestly about my decision. So after I got the revelation, sisters, I did not even think about it. I stopped being friends with this guy. I just, when he calls, so I'm busy, I need to go to work, I have a class, I have things, excuses, and that was it. Till today, I don't even know where he is. I don't know whether he's gone back to his country. I don't even know what's up with him. And that was the end of it. So, sisters, the Lord speak to us. The Lord might speak to you today. It wouldn't make sense, but it will make sense when you start to seek him more, when you start to obey him more. He tells you do this and you do it, don't do this and you don't do it. Okay, the Lord doesn't speak for nothing. He doesn't speak for nothing. He makes sense in everything that he says. So if you are thinking what you are hearing isn't making sense, check your life again. Check certain things about yourself again, because it will all be from you. God doesn't make a mistake. And that was how I left this friendship and my life. I'm married today, and by the grace of God, it's good. So sometimes, yes, you want something, you get it, but that might not always be the best for you. It, like, this guy was complete, he was good, he was okay. Even with his Christian stance, I thought it was a cultural thing, and I could change that, but it wasn't what God wanted for me. So sometimes you're praying for a car, that's not, yes, car is a necessity, but car might not be what God wants you to have at the moment. You're praying for marriage, you're praying about a certain sister or a certain brother. That might not be what God wants for you at that moment, or that might not even be the person that God wants you to get involved with. And obedience is a factor, okay, when it comes to serving Christ, when it comes to living for God, when it comes to doing the will of God. Obedience is a real factor. So I thank you so much for listening to me, and please keep trusting in the Lord and keep hoping that things will get better. Believe, and you see that the Lord loves you. Okay, bye.